Her breakthrough performance in 12 Years a Slave won Lupita Nyong'o an Academy Award. Now the actor has criticised Grazia, claiming they smoothed her hair to fit their notion of what beautiful hair looks like. She said she wouldn't have agreed to it and said removing her hair amounts to an omission of what is my native heritage. On the streets today, readers' opinion was divided.
I take pride in every single one of my greys, and I love them, and it's me, so leave them.
I think there's a lack of understanding sometimes about how important a black woman's hair is to her, and I think that's maybe been forgotten here, and that's why it's been airbrushed.
I don't understand why she's upset. I think it's mainly more because she's famous, she's a superstar, she feels entitled to be asked if they can airbrush or change images.
Grazia magazine apologised and said it would like to make it clear that at no point did they make any editorial request to the photographer for Lupita Nyong'o's hair to be altered on this week's cover, nor did we alter it ourselves. Well, joining me now, Michelle de Leon, founder of World Afro Day, and Nicole Vassell, features and entertainment editor at Pride magazine. Michelle de Leon, I mean, you saw a woman stopped randomly in the street there, a black woman saying, don't know what she's worried about. What is she upset about?
She's upset. I mean, I can't speak for Lupita.
Or what are you upset about?
Well, what am I upset about? It's the fact that our hair shouldn't be changed or altered by anybody to fit into a European beauty standard. That's what hair bias is about saying our hair is not acceptable by the beauty industry.
Do you think that's what happened, Nicole?
Well, I can't really speak on Grazia's behalf, but I know that there are a lot of people who oversee before a cover goes to print. And even if it wasn't intentionally offensive, that's not what the impact was. And it ended up really offending Lupita and making her feel as if her hair was not appropriate for the front cover.
So, I mean, we saw some people's sort of reaction is, well, doesn't Photoshop go on all the time? What is different about this editing out?
Well, the thing is, Photoshop and editing is a process that happens in a lot of magazines. Unless it's specifically said that something is not airbrush, you can basically assume that small things have been altered.
And you do it on your magazine?
Yeah, on Pride magazine, there'll be small things that are changed, but never to change a cultural aesthetic. And this is quite extreme. It's actually removing something as opposed to just altering. And I think that's a much bigger discussion.
The really big thing she said is this question of what is beautiful and what's regarded as beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, do you feel dismayed that you're actually having this conversation in 2017?
It's ridiculous in the sense that we've never had this conversation about Madonna, Julia Roberts. Why are we having conversations? And this is the second time within 3 weeks. Solange Knowles, 3 weeks ago. The beauty industry can't pretend that they're not aware that it's an issue to do with our hair.
But they clearly are unaware, aren't they? The people who take decisions are clearly not thinking about this on big magazines.
Well, there's a difference between diversity and inclusion. I think a lot of them are jumping on the natural hair bandwagon. Let's put these stars on the front of our cover. If they understood about natural hair and identity, they wouldn't make the mistakes that they're making.
I'd have to say that that's, I'd agree with that. I think there's a whole difference between wanting to kind of be a part of the, woke movement and really wanting people to see you as more open to different races on your front covers. But it just goes to show the kind of workforce that is behind the teams because, if there were potentially more of a diverse workforce, this might not have happened.
But do you think things are changing? I mean, we've seen, the new black editor of Vogue putting
Ado Oboa.
Yeah, putting a black woman on the front cover of his first issue and saying he wants to tackle diversity. Do you think that is the way to change attitudes about what is beautiful in the world of fashion and beauty?
Yeah, I think it's very important to show different variations of beauty. Beauty goes from all scales and all colours, and I think if you do want to use black women on your magazines to kind of show that there's a diverse beauty, you have to take black women in total in all that they are and not just edit them out.
How far do you think there is to go? Because we're talking about, it's not just hair, it's skin colour and skin lightening that she's also talked about. Do you feel that these are still uphill struggles?
They are, because there's an education that needs to happen. It needs to happen across the world, really, to say what is acceptable, what is beautiful, what is included. And I think the magazine industry and the beauty industry, they have a responsibility to the young people going up, children who are looking at these images and want to feel accepted and want to feel proud of who they are. They're not going to feel that if they hear that, oh, my hair's not acceptable.
But without, I mean, I don't want to skirt around this. I mean, do you think large numbers of white people don't think of African hair and dark skin as beautiful? Is that what you're up against?
On an unconscious bias level. Yeah, I'd say that perhaps nobody's ever thinking that this is ugly, this aesthetic is not, beautiful to me. But it's because that's over, as long as media's been around, there has been a certain kind of aesthetic that is more straight hair, lighter skin, that is represented as beautiful. And so in showing Lupita with her kinky hair and with her dark skin, that would be so effective in proving that there are different ways of beauty.
How do you think you can stop this happening again?
I don't think you can stop it happening again, but you would think that they're going to learn from their mistakes. You've got two major British magazines making the mistake within 3 weeks of each other. If they can't learn with all this media spotlight, then they're going to lose readership.
I mean, you aim your magazine at women of colour.
Yeah.
What would you say to the big brands and the big magazines?
I'd say if you want to put across a message that you're diverse, in terms of print, you have to be the change you want to see. You have to have a diverse workforce too.